Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler with me, Herd 37. So our last flight, we ended up in Phoenix, from Mexico City, and in this episode, we're going to head over to Fort Myers, KRSW. Also, once we get there, we need to create a base. I've sent a bunch of people. Some of them are already there with the 747s. Some are going to be there in a little bit, and I've got some MD-11s there and headed there as well. Because it's going to create a ton of jobs there, and I want to be able to make the money off of them. Alright, so I've already got our plane up here loaded up. So let's go ahead over to my jobs. There we go, Phoenix to Fort Myers. Fly to ourselves in the 737-900. Alright, so there it's all loaded up. I've got 2,100 miles worth of fuel. The flight is actually around 1,700. Now, we used 200 extra in our last flight, and that was about 1,000 miles, so I put a little extra in there. Although it shouldn't be too bad, because usually flying out to the east, we're going to be going with the wind, so we shouldn't use too much fuel. So let's go ahead and... yeah, I do want to start it kind of early, because we're going to be flying to the east, although it's not going to be all that long. Let's go at 10:30. We'll be there with plenty of daylight. And so with that, let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright everybody, here we are at the plane. Here in Phoenix. 824. We're here in the Delta area, which is perfect because we are Delta. You know, we're a cargo plane. Let's jump in here. Alright, let's check out our lights real quick. Steady. And anti-collision on. I think that's good for right now. By the way, we're slightly overweight still. I don't quite understand that. I think it's because there's a fuel discrepancy between Air Hauler and this plane. And I loaded up the plane again to get the correct amount. And we're a little overweight. Actually, the percentages came out a little weird on the fuel. The percentages and the pounds. I think that's what really messed everything up. But it's nothing like last time. So hopefully we won't have too much of a hard time getting up in the air like we did last time. I'm not sure how long our runway is. Although we're not as high up in the air either, so I'm not sure how much of a difference that'll make. Alright, there's Phoenix. I'm not going to put gate 24. A lot of times it doesn't seem to work out. And now over to KRSW. KRSW, split that in, activate and execute that. Departures and arrivals, we're going to depart actually in the exact opposite direction as we came in. It's going to be runway 8. And I believe it's bird 5. Isn't it? Yeah, bird 5, transition at Tucson. And arrivals, we're going to land on ILS runway 6. And I believe it's Tiny 1, transition, I believe at Bags. Right there. So let me just check this out real quick, because I'm sure there's going to be one discontinuity right there. Transition at Tucson. See if that vectors. I always take the vectors out. I hate vectors because we don't use ATC. So I'll just go ahead and put that in. Yeah, there we go. Corfu. We're not going over to Corfu. Greece. All right. 0 fuel weights. Reserves, I like to 3. Cost index, I like to do 80. So let's see if we can get up to, I bet we can't get up to 33,000, maybe 31,000, maybe they'll limit us to. Oh, they let us. See how much fuel, that actually leaves us with a ton of fuel. That's just really odd how that came about. So let's check one thing. Actually, no, we needed to do that. Let's go over here. I don't want to do derated takeoff, even though we're flying out of Phoenix. They probably do derate, but like I say, we're slightly overweight. So, and I want an aggressive climb to burn off that fuel, so I won't mess with any of that. Let's go on 15 on the flats. We did 15 last time instead of 10. Like I said, we might actually need it. 5.79. Do it this way. That looks pretty good right there. See, 159, that's a very high speed. And remember, we landed at our approach speed was 150 coming in. Let's see what it was. 153, so it'll be a lot less than last time. So that's what was good. Alright, let's check this out real quick. Let's move this over. By the way, radios for minimums. Bring that out. Step through it. Down to Tucson. Alright, that looks good right there. I don't like how that has to come out like that. Kind of a sharp turn. Although it's when the range is up, it won't look so flat like that. Alright, flight vector's coming on. What did I say? 33,000. Parking brake coming off. Go ahead and push back. .079 is the runway heading. Up to 33,000. Set that up here. 33,000, and it's pretty much sea level. Obviously on the beach over there. Oh, they're pushing back too. Bet we don't take the same runaways. What do you want to bet? I bumped up the scenery a little bit to very dense for both. KRSW shouldn't be much of a problem. However, Phoenix obviously is. Luckily, Phoenix is at the beginning and not at the end like last time. So you can already tell how jagged it is. Yeah, down to 13 frames a minute. Or a second. At 13 frames a minute would be terrible. Let's go ahead and stop the pushback. Taxi light coming on. Let this guy back out. Yeah, usually the Acura weird. They always want to go, always back up to the way. Like I got a taxi to the left, so obviously he's going to get out in our way to the left. See a lot of these U.S. Airways planes here. I want to get in front of that guy. There's already a guy that we're going to be behind. I don't like having to wait on people. Sometimes it's not just the weight, but sometimes there gets to be a little clusterfuck, and things start acting weird. Luckily, they end up popping, just disappearing after a while, which is helpful. I'll never forget that time in Charlotte, man. Things got so messed up. We were in a DC-8, I remember that one. I can't tell if there's that guy taxied down this way. That one guy may have been taxiing to the gates. Actually, both of them could have been. We'll taxi on down here. Honeywell. Isn't that where we parked one time or something? I remember seeing that building. Set there. Alright. VNAV and LNAV are armed. Brakes and RTO. Actually, I armed the spoilers. And 1, 2, 5, 10, 15 on the flaps. And I'm going all the way to the end because we want as much room as we can get. Found that out in Mexico City. That's always a good idea when you're a little heavy. Like I said, we're only like 1,400 pounds heavy or something like that. But also, we're burning fuel as we taxi and as we sat there getting ready, so some of that will hopefully go away. Well, some of it definitely will. So who knows what it'll actually be when we take off. If you wanted to burn off more, you could turn the APU on until you get to the runways. Oh, little bastard. I've been taxiing too slow. See, we're down here to 14. He's passing me. Oh, see, there's that guy at the end. I was wondering if they were going to taxi on that one or on this one. Those little that little guy, he's passing me. We're going to step on a little bit. I can cut him off at the... He's got to come across my taxiway. So if we just keep on a little bit... We'll have to turn and stop. I don't want to get going too fast. We are gaining on him. Have my pilot's license revoked for this. See, they're going down to the very, very end as well. Alright, slowing down now. We regained first place. I guess technically second. That guy, other guy was already taxiing. Stop here. Oh, see if he's already gotten off. Oh, there he goes. We can go ahead and get in position. Landing lights on. Let's make sure that that is strobed at the top. Alright, that's good. Landing lights are on. So over here, auto throttles are armed. Instead of following that line, I'm gonna come out here. I want every inch of the runway I can get. We're gonna hold the brakes. We're not gonna do the rolling takeoff. We went out a little far. Not always the greatest at lining up. I don't know why. Part of it is because the view's moving. I'll point a little right. That's okay. I don't know why the auto brakes. Alright, there goes the warning. Alright, holding the brakes. Off the brakes, toga. Airspeed is alive. So we're not building it very quickly. 80 knots.
V1, rotate. V2.
Guy coming from the other way. Positive rate, gears coming up. Much better this time. Much more room. I shouldn't say much more room, but we didn't need as much room. Flaps going to 10. Flaps going to 5. Alright, autopilot. Again, not working. There it goes. See, I thought we were headed out a little right, but we had it pretty much leading the arrows. Not the arrows, it's the crosshairs.
Traffic.
I think that's Kiwa. I think the traffic is behind us. Yeah, that one guy was coming from the other direction. Very odd when they do that. Flaps going to 1. And flaps going up. So maybe we could have done a derated takeoff, although we didn't have a ton of room at the end. Like I say, I want to get rid of some of that fuel. Let's look outside, because Phoenix is a beautiful area. I guess that's the downtown area. Yeah, it's a very dense area, even without the scenery. It'll make it a little jittery. I mean, look at that. That is huge. I love that there's mountains in that area. Mountains to that side, so it seems like a beautiful area to live in. Like I say, I think that's Kiwa? I don't know. There's one over here, maybe one over there too. There's the other big airport in Phoenix. It's beautiful. Alright, taxi light coming off. I'm gonna pause it and unpause it. Sometimes the sounds get a little messed up. Get a good view as we turn. Looks like that's one. That could be Kiwa for all I know. Kiwa's is still a fairly big airport on its own, if I remember correctly. Alright, already up to 9,000 feet. Check out the left side. That's probably Kiwa. That looks like there's more runways. Could very quickly, if I can get to the... I don't have a view for it. Airport. Yeah, Kiwa over to the left. Alright. Across 10,000 feet. Landing lights go off. Beautiful. Let's take a look at the progress here. Down to 9.9. I want that as close to 3 as possible. 1667. 1666. That's not what I wanted. There, 2100. So, not quite 4 hours. Another thing we could do, get rid of some of that fuel. It doesn't really help that much. I only shaved off 1 minute. The only other thing you could do is take it down to 31,000 feet and burn a little more fuel. I swear, the sound right now is getting way too loud. By the way, I can't figure out how to get that one on anymore. We used to have that on. I can move stuff around. By the way, both those need to come off. I mean, you can put stuff there, but I thought there was like another engine parameter thing that you could put there. Yeah, I can't figure out how to get stuff there anymore. Unless I'm just confusing it with the 747, which I know has one down there. Yep, now you're out in the rural areas. Deserty. I'll tell you what, we got a little bit of a haul ahead of us. And I'm going to go ahead and speed her on up. And I'll be back in just a little bit. Alright, everybody, slowing her down to a normal speed here. Coming up on 9,100 feet. Looks like it's going to be another fast landing. By the way, drag required. Let's see if I can... There we go. We're over the 250 or 10,000. We'll help her out. Alright, she's starting to give herself some power. Alright, so we're off it. Let's check out our landing speed. It's 143, or 142 now. So approach speed will be 147. That's only 3 slower than at Phoenix. So it's going to be another fast landing. I just got to remember to help keep that speed up, because it is a much faster speed than we normally land. So the faster and more power, and watch the PAPI lights. Last time I was watching the screens too much, and I should have been paying attention to the PAPI lights, not our instruments. Alright, so we're coming out, and as you can see, just go straight left. It'll be 060. I've got her set to go down to 2,700 feet. We should be able to get the ILS. I'm not sure. Does that mean it's a 10,000 foot runway, perhaps? I'm not too sure. See, she's letting herself get slow. There's 226 here up at the waypoint. We still got decel before that, before past her. Alright, auto brakes are set to 2. Speed brake, spoilers are armed, landing lights are on, taxi light is on. Just make sure that was on strobe. Yeah, I used KRSW in an FSX flight. I think it was KRSW down to San Juan. Was it TJSJ or something like that? It's pretty good scenery by LativVFR, I do believe. They do some pretty good stuff, especially the more recent stuff. So she looks pretty good. You can see there where the scenery basically starts. Covers a pretty good area. See, she's really letting that speed get down. And I'm not sure why. Let's go ahead and move that range down. Now she's coming back up. Not sure why she let her drop like that. No visual of the actual airport, but we know it's right over there. It's gotta be over here somewhere. Make sure of that. 147. Yeah, we're just going to have so much fuel. Look, it's all the way up to 12 now, because with the wind, we didn't have to use so much fuel. That really blows. I mean, we have so much more fuel. Almost 4 times as much as we really wanted. Now, because of the way I went up into the thing to make sure it was loaded correctly, and I started doing percentages of pounds. And I put it at the percentage, and it had the pound was less than what I had in air hauler, so I moved it back to the correct pounds. That put a lot more fuel in there. I wonder if we can go. We might be able to go back and actually put into air hauler you can get the correct pounds, how much you can actually hold, and go back into air hauler and put it in correctly. That would actually probably be the thing to do. And then recalculate the burn rate per hour. Alright, flaps going to 1. And 3.8 miles, we got to be down to 184. And those flaps were inhibiting that. Flaps going to 2. It is 184, so that's probably right at 2. So I'll put flaps 5. I'm going to go ahead and move this to 060, heading on the runway. Yeah, she's going to keep on dropping. 184, 184, 162. Ah, there's the flash, right there's the runway. About to turn to it. 162, inhibited by the flaps. Flaps going to 10. There's that 15. That's at 10. $15 on the flaps. Localizer. Alright, so when it's at 15, apparently it wants the gear down. Reset MCP altitude. I'll let it go to 2,000. I can't get anything. This happened last time, and I'll hit approach. I don't know if it's... It can't be too far away because it's less than 10 miles out.
2,500.
So it's a little bit confusing there. Make sure one last time, 142, 147 is the approach speed. Reset my view and move over. Yeah, I really don't get it. See, it looks like it's gonna try and get it, but I don't get it. I don't understand. Went up on 2,000 feet. There's the approach. Auto throttle's off. I'll take control. It gets that boost because when I move my joystick, it's going to that where it's set at. Set this to 3,000. I want full flaps and she will not go down. That's kind of odd. Unless it's being held up because of our speed. And see, now we're actually going to come in too daggone fast. Put up on 1,000 feet. Autopilot is off. Alright, now it's going to full flaps. So here we go with the speed problem. Low and slow. Now we've corrected it. Trying to check the PAP lights. We're a little high. Slightly slow.
400. 300. 200.
So slow, so I'm going to hold the power just a little bit.
100. 100.
So we did come in high a little bit.
50. 40.
Whoa,
30,
got kicked.
20. 10.
Wow, we got kicked by the wind right at the last second. Now we came down a little hard. We kind of dropped again. It's still not a good landing. We floated because I held on to the power, and then we ended up dropping onto the runway, and we got kicked by the wind right at the last second. That's always appreciate that. Get rid of that buzzsaw. Yeah, that's real aggravating, man. Especially the wind kicking me, because I really didn't need that. The terminal's to the right, but there was some parking over to the left that looked like it was military, perhaps. So we'll go over and check that out. Oh, that's really aggravating. All of a sudden I can't land all this plane. All the landing lights going off, strobes off, APU coming on. The bleed air. Flight director is going off. The TCAS is already turned off. Stop the recording. Yeah, another landing I'm not really happy with. The dropping down, getting floating a little too much. And then the speed, like I said, drops down a little too much, and we end up dropping to the ground instead of nicely gliding down to the ground like we want. Yeah, it looks like military over there, and we're cargos, so I was thinking maybe we'd go over there. Plus, a lot of the places that have military, they never put the planes on there. Not sure what the problem was there. So we'll check that out. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. Maybe that was telling me, it doesn't do that to tell you the APU's on. I'm not sure. Can we? I don't think that's for taxiing. It's awful narrow. I would have liked to taxi down that, but it looked a little narrow. I don't know if that's technically for airplanes. Not those aren't military. Those are like private jets and stuff. They kind of looked military, small military planes like fighters and stuff. Oh, look, the cargo's over here. Got someone that looks like taking off. I think this is a big Southwest Airlines place. That's why I flew in my FSX flight. Looks like Southwest. No? Spirit. At least now I know when I'm resetting the fuel, which to do it by. Like I said, I should probably just check how many pounds this thing can hold and reset it in air hauler. I don't think you can set it in air hauler. It's not one of the things that you can change when you're importing it, but maybe I can change it. I have to look. 'Cause that would help immensely. Well, I don't know it would help immensely, but it would definitely make it better. So I'll take a left over here over by UPS. Even though I'm in a Delta livery. I'll tell you what, yeah, I was gonna park right there on that first one, but we'll come over. Let's park on the second one. Number 4. Where did it go? There, we're right on it actually. That's where it went. Pull straight on up. Like some of the vehicles in here. Like, you got standard vehicles, the default ones, but then you got stuff like that. Looks really nice. Oh man, we went way further than I thought. Parking brakes on. Once again, I never switched it to generator, so leave it on APU. Alright, I think everything is good. Taxi light, you can come off. Got the APU power on. Cool beans. I'll turn this off. Alright, so we'll go over to Air Hauler and get ourselves paid. Alright, here we are. Let's go ahead and unload this thing. Come on, Air Hauler. Well, that's right, we gotta create a base as well. Stop the flight monitoring. Come on, Air Hauler. Take longer and longer. Alright, so, see, we've got tons of people coming over here. Well, there's some other ones just doing other jobs, like in Europe and stuff. And some of these, like Mobile and Clarksburg, West Virginia, I think is what that is. And then I'll send them down to Fort Myers. So bases, open up a new base, the United States. Alright, KRSW. Don't really care about the money. Money is no problem for us. It doesn't actually, it doesn't say our wealth yet. And hell, maybe they'll give a job that's not too heavy and we can take it. Usually I end up having, I can't just assign them either because they're so heavy I gotta like load them manually. Especially now that the 747s are carrying less. Ever since version 2 came out and I redid them. Got the weights, I think probably a little more correct. Fort Myers. That is not the same Fort Myers either. I wonder how they're gonna, is it gonna be FORT or what are they gonna do? Nope, just FT. These don't even look huge. 180,000. Yeah, these are small, like us. Huh, that's really odd. Because usually you open up a base and they've got, you know, jobs that are worth millions and millions. I guess maybe because I brought the size of the 747 down a little bit or something. Moline. I want to go there. See, there's some jobs in here that we can do. And I'll keep this plane here until the next flight. I wish we had Fort Lauderdale. Actually, I think we do have streaming for Fort Lauderdale. I do think we have that. That would be kind of nice. Although it's up to Montgomery. I don't want to fly over there. Alright, but, yeah, so we'll probably do something at some time. For the next flight. We'll stay in this one. Because I've thought about, I think we're in the 290s. And I thought maybe at the 300 we go over to the 787. And transfer over. And then we got to get back to the the F-27 Fokker and all that. Still got tons of stuff to do. All right. But that's going to be it for this episode. I really hope y'all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.